Oh, 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 no.
I don't need negative energy, wrap me in positive synergy. I have been doubted through life, been there and done that with trifling people who told me my style would not work. I told them they wrong, been struggling too long. This song is for you, I'm proving you wrong.
Get out my way, get out my way, get out my way, get out my way.
I'm a genuine person. Like if I love you, I love you. If I don't mess with you, I don't mess with you. It's as simple as that.
I'm so in love with you. Whatever you want to do is all right with me. 'Cause you make me feel so brand new. I want to spend my life with you. Me say, sing, baby, since we've been together, ooh, loving you forever is what I need. Let me be the one you come running to. I'll never be untrue. Oh, baby, let's stay together, loving you weather. Times are good, bad, happy or sad. Ooh, yeah. Well, the times are good, bad, happy or sad. Why somebody? People break up, oh, turn around and make up. I just came to see you never do that to you, baby. Spinning around you is all I see. Is what I want to do. You ought to stay together, loving you weather. Times are good, bad, happy, sad.
Whether good or bad, happy or sad. What up, Tanya?
I love that song.
How you doing, Alexa?
I'm good.
Stop. You good? All right.
I'm good. I'm ready.
Thank you for being here, man. Thank you for being here.
Having me.
Let me see who up in here. Y'all was up in here early.
We're ready.
Man, it was like 15 people in here before I got on here. I said, okay, they ready to go. They ready to go. Let's see who up in here. What's up, Daddy's Girl 1973? A2L 1908. Hello. Black Diamond. Hello. T-Bound 1. What's good? What's good? Hey, to all of our readers out there that read with us last year, you're more than welcome to read. The link is at the top. Just hit the link. You don't got to show your face. Just come on in and help us read these doggone transcripts. It's going to be a lot of fun. Trust me. Black Diamond, what's going on? Let me see. Rocker with the Truth is in the building. Riri, what up, Riri? What up, Naya? What's going on? Daddy's girl. I think I said you already. It's all right. Lady Eugenia, hello. How are you? Um, Atmos, my cash out for the transcript fund. Need your email address so I can send you mine. I got okay. I forgot to put it in. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. My email address, AVEREADY 123 at gmail.com. AVEREADY 123 at gmail.com. All right. Let me see here. Indigo. What's up,
Yeah.
Indigo? Huh?
I was telling them to link it in the chat. Put it in the
Put it
chat.
in the chat. Yeah, somebody put it in the chat for me, please. I don't know. Oh, I don't have it at the bottom. Let me see. Jay McBride, hello. Sonia Davis, hello. Tarsha, what up, sis? How you doing? I'm McQueen Newton, hello. Travis Sloan, what up, bro? How you doing? Cherie Harris, hello. Doris McGill, what's good? Daddy's girl was #1 today, y'all. That's what's up. That's what's up. Tanya with the T is in the building.
Woo-hoo.
Indeed. Sharice, what's good? Beautiful. What's up, beautiful Winter? I ain't seen you in a minute. What's up?
Oh, I like her name. Beautiful.
I know. Oh, there we go. There go my Riri. What up, Riri? Unmute yourself.
Hey,
What's up?
everybody.
How are you?
I'm doing much better now. Thank you.
I'm so glad to see you. That's what's up.
I'm glad to see you too.
Let me finish this roll call and we're going to get started, y'all, because I know these folks like Atmos. Let's get to it.
Just like the good old days.
It is like
Yes.
the good old days. It is. Let me see. I got Sharice in the building. I got I don't want to miss nobody. Mertice Balaam is in the building. What's up, Mertice? Let me see. Who else? I don't want to miss nobody. Jacqueline Jones, hello. Just a T, please. What's good? Let me see. Love is fair. What's up, my brother? How are you? And Faith Burris, hello. How are you? Take R. Kelly and give us Tupac back, please. What's going on? The GOAT is in the building. What up, grown man? What's up, bro? The grown little boy. What's up, man? How you doing? GLB is in the building. Let me see. Lesmit 1, hello. Latrice B, hello. Let's see. Who is? Let me see. What's this? What's going on, Sexy Red 317? Hello. Okay. I'm ready for that shout out this time. Okay. Awesome. What's going on? Let me see. Who else in here? Nettie. What up, Nettie? What up, Felicia? How are you? Sharon Spiller. Hello. How are you? And Ruby in the building. What's up, Ruby? SK in the building. All right, y'all. Kayla Dose in the building. Toon the Goon is in the building. Kayla Dose is in the building.
Chargers.
Indeed. Kayla, what's going on? Nettie Boo, what's up? Tears is in the
Hey, Tears.
Look at Tears.
Boss baby. Love it.
Boss baby in the house. What up?
Subscribe to Tears.
Aisha Stockton, what's up? West Coast Bells, what's up? All right, y'all. Miss Wilkins, hello. All right, Tom Bella, what's good? All right, y'all. I know y'all like Atmos, man. Please with these names. Shout it. Okay, Pettyville, Warrior. All right, I think I got everybody. There we go. And Lady E, hello. Yes.
Can you do me a favor?
Okay, go ahead.
Can you give she probably won't go in the chat, but can you shout out to my girl Kiki from work?
Kiki from work, what up? Yay, tell you what the T told me to shout you out. What's going on?
Here with us.
Indeed. All right, y'all. So before we get started, I want to do a little review from what's been going on today before we get into yesterday's finish up yesterday's transcript. Now Jason Meisner had a lot to say. There was a lot going on today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this stuff, y'all, and just kind of scheme and kind of go through how today went. As y'all know, RL was on the stand today. I heard she did an amazing job herself. Of course, Bonjean is going to really, they was looking at their chops waiting for RL. Boss Baby is doing her thing. Let's kind of get a look into the courtroom according to what Twitter said, Jason Meisner, and some others said. Let's kind of just do a little recap of that. Give me a minute. Let me share my screen with y'all. Let me share my screen.
While he's doing that, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell because we're going to be here reading these transcripts.
Indeed, man. Please do
that for Atmos.
Please do. Please do. I'm going to share this here, and then I'm going to let me make sure y'all can see what I'm sharing. Give me a minute. Y'all can see this. Okay. And I'm going to just scan through and just read exactly what he's saying. Okay. So here we go. So this is we're going to start 8 hours ago. Okay. So it says, after introduction by Kelsey Grammer of the 1998 Grammys, the curtain lifted, the camera zoomed in, and the jurors saw R. Kelly at the height of his fame, 31-year-old, flooded with blue spotlights in front of a giant video of the soaring bald eagle. Okay. This is coming from Jason Meisner page. If y'all want to get the updates and everything, go follow him on Twitter. Here's another thing he said. This was 7 hours ago. After preliminary testimony Wednesday, jurors in the R. Kelly trial are expected to hear and possibly see more today about the now infamous sex tape that Kelly was first indicted for in 2002. He says, I'll be in the courtroom. Okay. Let's see here. The basketball court of R. Kelly's George Street home was the homage to Kelly's success, was a large cartoon mural painting on one wall depicting the Looney Tunes characters from the movie Space Jam, which of course featured R. Kelly's Grammy-winning song. Y'all remember the song, I Believe I Can Fly. Jason Meisner said, dressed in a white blazer with her hair in long braids, Jane has so far been testifying calmly about hundreds of sexual encounters she had with R. Kelly beginning when she was 14 years old. Her voice has been quiet and her gaze has stayed on the prosecutor. So there might be let's see if there's okay, here we go. All right, so this is just a breakdown, y'all, of what's in there. Let me make sure y'all can see this. Give me one moment here. You have reached the free article limit. Oh, great, of course. I already got not Chicago Tribune. Doggone it. Hold on, y'all. I think I already got this doggone thing.
Do you have the Sun Times? Because David Burns did the Sun Times. He did pretty good too.
He did?
Yeah, he did a good.
All right, I already got the doggone. Hold on, let me see. Continue without my offer. I don't want to subscribe to you. Damn it. Hold on. Go to homepage. Let me see. There we go. Is this it? Let me see. Okay. They're not gonna let me do it. All right, so let's do this. Let me X out of here. Unlock bonus. I don't want. Hold on, y'all. Unlock bonus article. What is this? You've exclusive. Try 12 weeks for 99 cents. Continue to my bonus article. Congratulations. Okay. Yay. All right. Here we go, y'all. Sheesh. Okay. So here it is. So R. Kelly's former goddaughter breaks down. Can y'all see this? What I'm reading right now? Can you see R. Kelly's face right here or no?
I see him in the orange jumpsuit.
Okay. That's what you see him at. Okay. Let me do this then. Let me go over here. Let me stop sharing this and let me share this with y'all. Let me go in here and let's share. Share screen. There we go. All right, y'all. Here we go. So let's read this here together. Here we go. Y'all see this? You see R. Kelly in the blue coat? Can y'all hear me? Tanya? Riri? Y'all hear me?
I got it.
Okay,
yeah,
y'all
I
see
can
this?
see him now. Yep.
All right, great. Okay, let me read this here. So it says here, let me make sure I can see this pretty good. So it says, R. Kelly's former goddaughter breaks down at his federal trial in Chicago, telling a jury he filmed them having sex while she was a minor. Says for the first time after 2 decades of swirling allegations, R. Kelly's former goddaughter has taken a stand as a prosecution witness in a case against the disgraced singer. Dressed in a white blazer with her hair in long braids, a woman now 37, testifying at Kelly's federal trial in Chicago under the pseudonym Jane, told the jury she had sexual contact with Kelly for the first time at age 14. It also says here that after testifying calmly for 2 hours, Jane's voice grew quieter and began to speak as she was asked to describe sexual encounters that Kelly recorded. Oh, we got somebody else on here? Hold on, y'all. Oh, okay. Okay, you must have got knocked out. All right, let me get back to this here. Hold on, y'all. All right, here we go. Okay, let's see. Jane's voice grew quieter and began to break as she was asked to describe sexual encounters that Kelly recorded during the now infamous tape at the center of Kelly's 2008 child pornography trial. One of the videos, thank you, Lady E, I appreciate that. One of the videos, which are expected to be played for jurors, showed Jane and Kelly having oral sex in the living room of his Lakeview home. She said that he could be seen giving her champagne and telling her to refer to her genitalia as 14 years old. She said then he urinated on her. She said in a voice almost too soft to hear, dabbing tears from her eyes. Man, can y'all just imagine how much pain this woman now has carried with her all this time, keeping all this stuff in?
It's so sad. But
It's
it's so brave.
It's unbelievable, right? Let's move on. On another video from the same time, Jane testified, filmed in a wood-paneled jacuzzi room in Kelly's basement. Kelly appeared to hand her money before they have sex. When the prosecutor asked why he gave her money, Jane started to cry audibly, saying, after a long pause, because if anybody saw the tape or if it was released for some reason, he wanted it to appear as if I was a prostitute. Wow. What up, Blade? What up, T-Band One? This is some sickness stuff, man. All right, Riri. I guess people keep calling you while you're on here.
I don't know what happened, but I switched devices.
Okay, cool. All right. Let me get back here. And she said it. Jane shook her head. Jane looked down at the. Hold on. Let me see what I missed. Okay, a prostitute. As she said it, Jane looked sadly down at the table in front of her, seated at the defense table across the courtroom. Kelly shook his head. Their sex acts escalated. He had the nerve to shake his damn head. What the hell are you shaking your head for? You know what you did. Their sex acts escalated to intercourse when she was 15, she said. Asked by the prosecutor how she knew her exact age, Jane calmly responded, because that's when I lost my virginity. After that, they had sex innumerable times, sometimes long, sometimes along with other teenage girls whom Jane recruited at Kelly's request, she said. The encounters took place in Kelly's home on West George Street at his near West Side recording studio, on tour buses, and in hotels in Chicago and elsewhere, she said. Two of the minor victims also expected to testify against Kelly later in the trial. To illustrate how young she looked at the time of the encounters, prosecutors had Jane identify two photos of herself from her childhood. The first, taken when she was a sophomore in high school, showed her on one knee holding a basketball, smiling. The other was a headshot from when she was in a music group at 13, around the time she said she first met Kelly. Thank you so much. Let me see. Somebody else sent a thank you, Scarlett Davis. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Jane and her parents had denied for years that Kelly ever had inappropriate relationship with her, including the grand jury including to the grand jury in 2002. Jane was not called to testify at Kelly's 2008 Cook County trial for court pornography, even though court reporters alleged that she was the girl on the tape. Riri, if you want to jump in, you can, if you can see this.
I'm here.
Can you read this? You want to read this?
Oh, you know what?
You don't have to. Don't worry about it.
No, I can't read it right now. It's too small.
Okay, I got it. Federal prosecutors allege that Kelly and his associates paid off Jane and her family and covered up over videotapes in order to rig his Cook County trial. He was acquitted on those charges in 2008. Jane told the jury Thursday that when Chicago police first began investigating her relationship with Kelly in 2000, she denied it because he told her he'd be ruined if it came out. That was something I would take to my grave, she said, adding that Kelly told her she did a good job answering their questions. Things escalated in early 2002, however, when her aunt, Stephanie Sparkle Edwards, told her there was a sex tape leaked depicting Jane and Kelly and that it was going to go public. She said Kelly continued to stress how important it is to continue to deny it. Mm-hmm. A short time after, Kelly met with Jane and her parents to tell them the truth about their relationship and to apologize and try to keep them on his side. Wow. I can only imagine. She said, I just remember my dad storming out. Jane testified. He was saying, I can't help you. I can't help you. He was hysterical. Well, you know what? I'm glad to see that he was hysterical about this because before this came out, hey, thank you, Face Beers. I appreciate that. Thank you. Before this came out, y'all, before we got more information, I didn't know. I didn't know if he was in on it. I didn't know if it was because R. Kelly was bribing him. He was like, he'll have my daughter. You know, we had a lot of misconceptions, but now we can see that his natural reaction as a father was hysterically storming out. I can't help you. He probably wanted to beat his ass. Like, you don't know what was going through his head. And I can't blame him if a man tells you, yes, I've been having sex with your 14-year-old daughter. Your 15-year-old daughter. I started when she was 14. That would drive any man who cares about their kids crazy. Jane said Kelly decided to send them to the Bahamas and Cancun so they would not be accessible to police and the media. There was a lot of negative attention happening around the videotape, and Robert wanted us to leave the country to pretty much clear our heads and figure out approaches going forward, Jane testified. Early in her testimony, Jane told the jury, she said that she was starstruck when she first met Kelly in the 1990s, especially after he attended a performance of her music group and gave her good feedback. It made me feel happy that such a successful person was saying I was gifted. So I was excited, she said. She began to visit Kelly's studio regularly when she was 12 or 13, along with her aunt, Stephanie Sparkle Edwards, a protege of Kelly's. Edwards advised her that she should ask Kelly to be her godfather, she testified. I got a question about this. Now, isn't it supposed to be the mama and the daddy who choose who the godfather gonna be?
I mean, that's what I always thought.
You're right.
Since when the hell did your auntie say, that's your god daddy? What? I'm confused. I don't get it.
A lot of this is confusing.
It is.
Because I don't think it's the whole truth about everything.
Okay. So it says... and
then we have to remember, this is her remembering from an age of 14.
That's true.
Good point.
You know what I mean? What you know at age 14 is not going to be like, you know what I mean?
Right. It's not going to compute in her head the same way it does ours now.
Right.
That makes sense. So she said, Sparkle told her, she said, I should sit on his lap and rub his head and ask him to play that role in my life. Jane Test. They need to get Sparkle ass on that stand.
Yeah, Sparkle kind of left that part out a bit.
Yes, she did.
She left that part out. Wow.
Maybe that's why the family is mad at Sparkle.
And you know, the crazy part about it is, Rashana was influenced by her aunt. Her aunt is her best friend. So, you know, she admired her music and her, you know, her talent, stuff like that. So whenever she told her something, she listened, unfortunately. Right. So it says Edwards advised that she would ask Kelly to be her godfather. She testified. She said, I should sit on his lap and rub his head and ask him to play that role in my life, Jane testified. She did, and Kelly chuckled a bit and said, yes. After that, their relationship took a sexual turn. Jane said that she would have long phone conversations with him that eventually turned explicit. She said she was 13 years old. Kelly also gave her alcohol for the first time when she was 14. Wow. Wow. And she began drinking heavily. It would help me loosen up, kind of take me away from the moment, she testified. Now, I want y'all to think about this.
Poor baby.
If she said that she drank just to take herself away from the moment, is that something she really wanted to do? No.
Not at all.
Not at all. Early in the testimony, Jane remained calm on the witness stand, keeping her gaze on the prosecutor, asking her questions, pausing at times to sweep her braids off her shoulder or wipe at her eyelashes. Man, I wish I would have been. I would have just gave her a big old hug and said, sis.
Yeah.
You know, and God.
And you know those texts that we read? She sounds like a nice girl.
She sounds like she's well educated. She sounds smart. She sounds, you know.
And she's got her little baby now, and you know.
Exactly.
And I think that she knows that she has to do this for her baby. Like
she gotta do this. Yeah.
Go through this ever.
I agree. Kelly showed little outward reaction to her testimony. When it came for the witness to identify Kelly in the courtroom, U.S. Judge Harry Leonard Weber instructed everyone in the courtroom to remove their mask. Then Jane said that she saw the singer sitting at the defense table in a blue suit jacket. After Assistant U.S. Attorney Janice Apatine asked Jane to identify another article of clothing that Kelly was wearing, Kelly's attorney, Jennifer Bonjean, said loudly in her microphone, "So stipulated, it's Mr. Kelly."
Unbelievable.
What?
What is wrong with her?
What the hell is wrong with her? Man.
It's going to be a wild one.
It's going to be a wild one.
Like what was the boy's name that you were reading? Canic.
Y'all thought Canic was crazy, boy. Bonjean be on her page cussing people out, talking some, I ain't the one. Like, what the All right. Prosecutors earlier called to the witness stand a man who in 2001 purchased a big house in Lakeview, a converted church with a swimming pool and basketball court and barbershop. The previous owner was he came to find out R. Kelly. Kelly allegedly filmed at least one of the videos at issue in his federal indictment at that home. And in 2002, police evidence technicians came through to take photos, including pictures of the wood-paneled room depicted on the tape. After Matthew Holsizer moved in, he found out that a smoke detector in at least one of the bedrooms was not in fact a smoke detector at all. It concealed a small hidden video camera. And in order to leave the bedroom, you had to press a button, he said, a feature he removed once he thought it was a safety hazard. Wow.
Wow.
He was a freaking creep.
Creepy. Hey, they said they locked him in the room.
That's what I was just about to say.
They did say they locked him in the room, didn't they? So now we found out that there was a button, but then he has since removed it when he thought it was a safety hazard. A basketball court in the George Street home was a homage to Kelly's success with a large cartoon mural painted on one wall depicting the Looney Tunes characters from the movie Space Jam, which of course had featured the Kelly's Grammy-winning song. The cartoon included a likeness of Kelly on the court in a red uniform and sunglasses, according to photos presented by the government, playing with the Tasmanian Devil. The cartoon scoreboard showed he was winning by 2 points with 1 second left on the clock. Some in the crowd of cartoon characters, which included Tweety Bird and Marvin the Martian, were holding up signs. The Colorado room looked like the interior of a log cabin with faux wood walls, and had an accent wall that appeared to be a fake stone. A large hot tub dominated the room, also ensconced in fake wood paneling. The photos of the master bedroom presented by prosecutors included close-ups of the escape button, and a smoke detector in the ceiling where the new owner said he found a small hidden video camera. Oh, wait. Wow. Oh, hold on. The photos of the master bedroom presented by prosecutors included close-ups of the escape button. What the hell do you need a damn escape button on a room for?
It was probably
there was a lot
where it was.
So when all these girls are saying they was locked in rooms, now will people, damn it, believe that it's a possibility?
Yeah.
How are they supposed to know it's a hidden camera and then it's a damn escape button in the room?
And even if they weren't locked in the rooms when they were alone, they were locked in the rooms while he was there. They couldn't run out.
Right. Kelly sat dressed in a dark blue suit before court began, and Marshall came out to the court table to ask for a tie for him, telling his lawyers he wants the brown one today. Testimony had resumed Thursday with cross-examination of retired Chicago police detective who investigated the initial allegations that Kelly was sexually abusing his teenage goddaughter. On the stand again Thursday, Daniel Everett reiterated that when he spoke to Jane and her parents in 2000, they denied that the girl had any kind of inappropriate relationship with Kelly. A little more than a year later, he got a tape from the then Chicago Sun-Times journalist Jim Derogatis and recognized Jane on the footage. That video became the center of Kelly's Cook County court case 20 years ago. Defense attorneys hit hard on chain of custody issues surrounding the tape. Everett noted that he has recently seen a copy of the footage and the content is the same, but he does not know where the original VHS tape is. On cross-examination from Bonjean, Everett noted that he also interviewed a friend of Jane's in 2002. The person is expected to testify later at trial under the pseudonym Pinky. There is no indication in Everett's reports that underage Pinky told him she had sexual contact with Kelly, Everett testified. And while there were concerns that a videotape depicted images of Pinky being abused, when Everett showed her and her mother stills from the tape, they denied it any involvement, he testified. Prosecutors' very first witness was a psychologist whose testimony was intended to provide content or explanation for some of the witnesses' behavior, including the victims often keep their abuse secret for years. The tape allegedly filmed at the lake house is one of 4 at the center of the child pornography charges against Kelly, who is also accused, along with other associates, Daryl McDavid and Milton June Brown, of conspiring to rig his 2008 trial. In the opening statements, prosecutors painted Kelly as a serial predator who had sexual contact with underage girls hundreds of times over the years. He just must have used them for just golly. Think about that. Hundreds of times for these little girls.
That's very damaging
They
to their
had to be
psyche.
to their psyche, to their bodies, to
Yeah,
their self-esteem. I mean, how can they grow up and feel any type of pride and self-worth when their bodies was used? Just
right.
used.
Completely used, and then have to
Mhm.
bring them into each other, and then how do you get into a normal relationship after that?
You can't.
Exactly.
You know, you
You
don't
can't.
know what
There's so much
a
trauma.
relationship even is.
Yeah.
You know, they just come to find that as normal, and that's just so heartbreaking.
It says against Kelly, who was accused along with former associates. Hold on. Oh god, that messed me up.
Yeah.
Daryl McDavid and Milton Brown of conspiring to rig his 2008 trial. In opening statements, prosecutors painted Kelly as a serial predator who had sexual contact with underage girls hundreds of times over the years. 5 women, including Pinky and Jane, are expected to testify over the course of the trial that Kelly sexually abused them when they were teenagers. Bonjean, meanwhile, said prosecutors' case really does hinge on the testimony of liars, extortionists, and people who engaged in the business of trafficking pornography. Oh,
That just makes me so angry.
ooh.
Yeah, like how can she even try to deny that and just try? I don't know. I don't know. I could never be a defense attorney.
She nasty.
When you
She
were
nasty.
today, you were reading about how she was calling pretty much Jane a criminal.
Yeah.
Oh, I was so angry.
Mm-hmm.
Opening statements began Wednesday after 2 full days of jury selection. The 12 jurors and 6 alternates were sworn in Tuesday. On Wednesday morning, 1 juror was replaced with an alternate after developing a medical issue. They are expected to hear evidence and arguments after roughly for the next 4 weeks. Okay, let's get back to Jason Meisner. Let me stop sharing this.
That was everything that he had said in his Twitter.
Say it again.
That's pretty much everything he had written in his Twitter.
That's everything?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
I was following it all day.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's get to now. Did they talk about her anything she said on cross-examination?
They didn't get to it yet.
They didn't get to it yet. Okay, when stuff pops in, let me know. Let me just do just a quick glance and see if anything new has come in. Let's see. That was 32 minutes ago. Brinley's cross was brief, and we are now adjourned for the day. Okay, so they just wrapped up 32 minutes ago. Says that's it for Jane's direct testimony. Hold on.
They must have done a little bit of cross then.
They got a little bit of something here. Hold on. Let me see.
I always forget they're an hour behind us.
Huh?
I always forget it's an hour behind.
Right. Hold on one moment. Let me share this for those that do want to see this. Hold on. All right. So it says here, this was an hour ago. Let me see. Jane acknowledges in exchange for her testimony, she has been granted immunity from prosecution for perjury. Okay. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to go back down some. So, all right. So it says, we are back. Jane says that while they were on their trip, her parents came to the conclusion they were going to do as I asked, to basically stay on Kelly's side. She said they lost their jobs and couldn't afford lawyers, and they didn't want to lose her too. Jane says that while she was in Mexico, she got a tattoo with Kelly's name and with a heart. When she got back and showed it to Kelly, he told her that it was a problem and had Milton Brown take her to a tattoo artist's house to get it covered up. So he took her to some hood. Oh my gosh. Jane says that after she was subpoenaed to testify before a Cook County grand jury in April of 2002, Kelly again told her to stay loyal and denied it was her on the tape. She says that Kelly paid for an attorney to go with her to the appearance. Jane says that she was put under oath before the grand jury. Question: were you truthful? Jane said no. Question: what did you tell them that was not true? Answer from Jane: that I was not involved with Kelly sexually and that we had never made any videotapes. So she's saying that she lied under oath, okay, which we already know. Okay. Let's see here. Another thing came in. Jane acknowledged that in exchange for her testimony, she'd been given a granted immunity. Jane says that she turned over two pieces of evidence to Kelly's lawyers: a silver cross necklace that was visible on the sex tape, as well as her passport, which had a photo of her wearing the same necklace. The lawyers were Ed Jensen and, I believe, was Sam Adam Jr., whoever that is. Jane testifies that she moved to Kelly's mansion in Olympia Fields while his case was pending. But after he was acquitted, their relationship changed for the worse. Ooh. And as far as other women being involved, as far as abuse coming into play, Kelly's lawyer objects. Now they're in a sidebar. Jane also testified that Kelly abused her from age 17 to the time she left him at 24. It involved being spanked and hitting. She says she also says he controlled her, would not allow her to work or leave. Oh boy.
And he wasn't even involved in the other court case in New York, and she's saying the exact same thing.
Same exact things. Now, she ain't never talked to no daughter. I don't think she ever talked to Azriel and them, and they all got together and put this story together and say, okay, you say the same thing, we're going to say over here. None of that never happened.
Right.
Exactly.
So he did the same thing, spanking and hitting, the same thing, and wouldn't let her leave. So he held her captive.
Right.
Also, but go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was just saying for a lot of years.
Right. Says, but in 2004, she said Kelly helped her rent her own place in University Park and get a car to go to work. He paid for it in part with a check that said settlement on it. Did you have any kind of settlement agreement with Mr. Kelly? She said no. Jane says she finally started coming clean about her relationship with Kelly to law enforcement a few years ago. Asked why she paused for several seconds: because I became exhausted with living with his lies.
Wow.
Damn.
That's intense.
And that she needed to do that for her own healing too.
Absolutely.
You know, just to release it and to get rid of it.
It says that's it for Jane's direct testimony. David's lawyer, Bo Brindley, is starting his cross now. Sounds like Bonjean will cross-examine Jane on Friday. Y'all know she can't. Woo!
She's gonna be
it's gonna be nasty.
But you know what? It's gonna be. You know what? If she goes hard on her, the jury is not gonna like it. Not one.
Yes.
They will get pissed. So she's gotta be very careful.
Yeah, because she was 13, 14 years old. The jury is not gonna have any respect for her going hard on her.
But you already know that with the way Bonjean is, she gonna try to be real damn it ratchet.
Yep.
And y'all already know how she be. Oh, I ain't the one. Y'all got me. Yep. Okay, that's her. Last thing, that's it for Jane's testimony. David's lawyer. Okay, so Jane will be cross-examined by Bonjean on tomorrow. Brindley's cross was brief, and we are now adjourned for the day. Phew. Make that martini a double. I know that's damn it right.
That'd be really hard for that guy to be sitting in there.
Wow.
All right, y'all. It's time. It's time to get down with the get down. All right. So let me go ahead and share this with y'all. If y'all remember, we are at the top of page 507, I believe. Yes, we are. All right, so this was in the middle of Bonjean's. This is her opening statements. So I left off at his sexual activities. If you want to jump in, I'll let y'all go back and forth until we start getting into different characters. So if you would like to, Riri, go ahead and start us off. right there where it says, you know. Now, this is Bonjean's opening testimony, her opening statement.
You know that I should point out that Mr. Kelly, I'm not here to defend his moral character or defend his sexual proclivities when it comes to the amount of partners that he has had or anything of that nature. Okay? When you go back to the jury room, eventually you're not going to ask to decide whether or not he is a good or a bad person. Okay? That's for social media. Mm-hmm. You could hold those thoughts, and that's something that you can maybe communicate later. But in there, the question is whether he committed the charges of the charged offenses. But you're going to hear, you already heard, the government told you about this wild chase, the mission that frankly, I mean, I couldn't follow it. But you have Lisa Van Allen, Keith Murrow, her boyfriend, and Charles Freeman. And what you need to know is that they're criminals. They extorted Mr. Kelly, and they.
All right, so go ahead, Mr. Julian. So I'll do the jump in. So I'll be Mr. So anytime it's a man, I'll jump in, and then we'll switch all out as far as with Bonjean. I'll be the judge, and whatever. We'll switch it up. Objection, argumentative.
The evidence is going to show that all three of them have immunity deals.
Indiscernible. The court reporter said, microphone, please. And here's the judge. Well, that objection, that it's argumentative, well, it's possibly a statement of fact, but so I don't know. Overruled.
Thank you, Your Honor. Lisa, Keith, and Chuck. Yeah, Lisa did take tapes. She didn't take it because, and the evidence will show that she did not take any tapes because she was worried about her sexual activities with Mr. Kelly coming out into the public domain. No. She took those tapes. And again, they acknowledged that she was an adult. She took those tapes to shake him down. That's what she did. Because why? If she took it where it is, if you're so worried about it going out there, if you took it where it is, why did you send it off?
Go back to where it is. Where is it?
Oh, I'm sorry. If you took it, where is it? Why did you send it off to some guy? And what you're going to find out is after these people took these tapes, they reproduced them. They put it into the public domain. They are child pornographers. That's what they are. They are the ones that made copies and enriched themselves off tapes, off sexually explicit tapes. That's what they did. And I should say, we don't even know what all the tape that Lisa took from Mr. Kelly, all of the tapes that Lisa took from Mr. Kelly. Now you are also going to hear evidence. Well, let me just go back to one thing. You'll have to decide whether you believe that these people, you have to decide, okay, whether all these people are worth a shred of believability, okay, whether they deserve any ounce of credibility. Because in order to find my client guilty of some type of obstruction, and frankly, to find any of the defendants guilty of some type of obstruction, you are going to have to credit 3 individuals with immunity deals where they get to come up here. And as long as they say what the government believes to be the truth, then they are clear and free of all criminal charges for their criminal conduct.
All right, stop right there, Riri. Thank you. I'm gonna let Tanya jump in.
Now, I want to talk about the government's charges that they added to this indictment. These enticement charges of these other women, they too are all going by pseudonyms. And I don't want to get it wrong. These are not their real names, but these are individuals named Nia, Tracy, Pinky, and Brittany. You heard about these 4 now women. You won't see any videotapes involving these women, and you will have to decide from their testimony whether you believe them when they say that they had sexual relationships with Mr. Kelly when they were underage. But I want to get into a little bit of what their testimony, that we know their testimony will show. One of them, Tracy, the evidence will show, is that she now claims that she was underage. She is going to testify that she was 16 years old when she had some type of sexual relationship with Mr. Kelly. That's what the government told you. It's going to be contradicted by the fact that she sued Mr. Kelly years ago and said she was 17 and did not claim she was underage. And in Illinois, the age of consent is 17 for sexual activity. 17 is the age of consent. So let's get this straight. You will have to decide whether you believe that when she goes to sue Mr. Kelly for money, she would say she's older than she actually was. No, she's moved back her age. That's what the evidence is going to show. You're also going to see that she told investigators that she was a woman in a still photo from a video that came into the possession of law enforcement. There is a number of videos, and this is a video of a grown woman, a consenting woman, not a woman who has made any allegation against Mr. Kelly. I'm not going to say what her name is because it's irrelevant, and frankly, she doesn't deserve that. But this Tracy tried to tell the government that that was her. Oh, that's me. That's me. I believe that's me. Well, she had to eventually admit, no, that wasn't me, actually. That's the type of testimony we're dealing with here. Pinky and Brittany, they too tried to extort Mr. Kelly. They tried to extort him for $35,000 and say essentially, we know you've had these legal problems, and we're going to go out there and say that you did that to us if you don't give us $35,000. That's what the evidence is going to show. It's called extortion. And I'm not saying that Mr. Kelly didn't have sex with Pinky or Brittany, but they weren't minors. Now, as I said earlier, the government has laid out what they believe their case will be, and they have depicted a very ugly picture of Mr. Kelly. Really, a picture of someone with bad character. That's what they are. That's what they've laid out for you. And they're hoping that you will not be the technicians that you need to be, but that you will assume that because maybe that's not fair. They're hoping. But here is the risk. You may not. You cannot. The law does not allow you to assume that because if you conclude that he is a bad guy, that he has done some bad things, that he must have done these other bad things. The law does not allow that. We try counts, offenses, not people's character. And it can get very muddy and it can get very difficult to keep those things straight. But I'm going to implore you, because you promised that you will do your very best to keep those things straight. It is entirely improper, and you will get the law from the judge. So I'm not going to belabor that. But you cannot just say, well, I think the government met its burden on this count. Therefore, anything else they say, they met their burden on. No, you have to look at each one separately and decide whether, in fact, the government has met its burden as to each count. Because it is entirely possible that in the climate that Mr. Kelly could also be a victim, he can, of exploitation, financial exploitation, extortion, those things as well, because there are strong motivators out there. So it is important that you do your job because, ladies and gentlemen, the government's case really does hinge on the testimony of liars, extortionists, people who engaged in the business of trafficking pornography. And frankly, if you believe the government story, parents themselves who engage in sex trafficking, those are their witnesses. That is their case. So I would ask you, ladies and gentlemen, to remember that sometimes people may do a bad thing. It doesn't mean they're all bad, and it doesn't mean that everything they do is bad. And on the flip side, there are a lot of good people that do good things, and it doesn't mean that everything they do is good. Mr. Kelly welcomes this case and implores you to look at the evidence and to make a decision on each count separately, and not to just throw your hands up in the air and say, he seems like a pretty bad guy. Because if you do that, you will not be holding up your end of the bargain. But we believe you will, and we believe that you will reach the right verdict at the end of this case. And I thank you for your time.
Well, we will now take a 15-minute recess, and then we'll hear from Mr. McDavid's attorney. All rise. Jury out. Recess had. They come back in. The judge says, "Well, the juries are on their way up, so please gather." Mr. Julian says, "Judge, there are a few things that I'd like to address with you before the jury comes back in." The judge says, "Go ahead." Mr. Julian says, "One thing, just I'd ask you that you re-admonish the gallery. There was some noise in certain corners of the courtroom during the discussions and on objections and about when me and Miss Bonjean were previewing the evidence. I just ask that you remind everyone to be quiet or step out. There's something that's being said or whatever that's going to draw a reaction. That would be one thing. Thing two, and I don't have the exact quote, but at some point during Miss Bonjean's opening, she said the words to the effect of that the jury could go on social media and share their thoughts about certain things. I just ask that you admonish the jury again that they don't. She did not say when. I don't think, that I don't think she suggested that they could do that today, but just remind the jury that they're not to go on social media. They're not to do any sort of investigating or anything like that. Bonjean, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think.
Look, okay, I don't recall that. Okay, I don't recall that matter or that latter comment. However, if again, it's difficult for me to hear, what's going on over in the corner over here or corner over there, because this is a pretty big courtroom. Okay, but if there are comments, please do refrain from it, particularly any kind of emotional comments or laughing or anything like that. Now, just if you're here as an observer, so, please act that way. Otherwise, we may have to remove people who disobey that. Are they ready? The clerk says, they're not here yet. The judge says, okay, well, they'll come, coming from the 10th floor. So there's a brief pause. The jury comes in. The security officer says, all rise. The judge says, please be seated. Now for Mr. McDavid, Mr. Glossman, you may address the jury. Opening statement. So here's Mr. Glossman's opening statement. Between 1997 and 2008, Gerald Margolis is one of the most accomplished and celebrated entertainment law attorneys in the entire country. He represented everyone from Robin Williams to Neil Diamond of the Rolling Stones. Jerry Margolis was the best at what he did. Between 2002 and 2008, Edward Jensen was the most celebrated criminal defense attorney in the whole city of Chicago. Over the years, he's represented politicians, judges, lawyers, business leaders, organized crime figures, those prominence and fame whose was known all across the country. Edward Jensen was the best at what he did. Between 1997 and 2008, John Toohey was a partner at Mayer Brown, one of the largest and most prestigious law firms throughout the country. He was uniformly respected by judges and lawyers alike across the city of Chicago as an outstanding civil litigator with the highest integrity. John Toohey was excellent at what he did. Between 1997 and 2008, Jack Palladino worked as a private investigator for the famous and highly respected throughout this country. It was his investigation that brought down the tobacco industry and ended with one of the largest settlements in this country's history. He worked for Hollywood superstars and presidents in the United States. Jack Palladino was the best at what he did. So I'm sure you're all wondering, why do we begin this case with Daryl McDavid? by listening to accolades of some of the finest legal professionals in this country, it is because the evidence will show that these are the people that Daryl McDavid hired to defend Robert Kelly. You have heard that Daryl McDavid is charged with conspiracy when entering into arguments to obtain child pornography and to obstruct justice. But when it comes to the 2002 criminal allegations against Robert Kelly, the evidence will prove that these renowned professionals that I just told you about were the only people that Daryl McDavid entered into any agreements with. It was these men that decided what settlements would be paid to certain women who made allegations. It was these men who arranged the collection of videotapes that needed to be analyzed to figure out what was on them. It was these men who decided what people needed to be paid in order to obtain evidence and information critical to defending Robert Kelly. And Daryl McDavid entered into a formal agreement with these lawyers to work as their agent. He did what they directed. He followed their instructions, and he did it because as Robert Kelly's business manager, it was his job. When it comes to the 2008 defense of Robert Kelly, you are going to learn that the lawyers, they did their job with excellence. You'll learn that investigators, they did their job with excellence. And working alongside with them, Daryl McDavid did his job with excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, as you listen to the evidence in this case, you will learn that doing your job as a lawyer and doing your job as a business manager to a superstar, it's not a crime. Being successful in your efforts, it's not a crime. Yet, it is that success by Daryl McDavid and these extraordinary lawyers that he hired is what brings him here today in front of all of you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to the agreements made by Daryl McDavid, you will learn that they were indeed agreements with these professionals to provide the best possible defense to Robert Kelly. They were agreements with these professionals to defend and safeguard Robert Kelly's image and career. They were agreements made by men who were committed to doing their jobs at the highest level. The evidence will show you that is all they did. They worked with Daryl McDavid to do their job, and neither he nor they should be criticized for that. Neither he nor they should be held criminally responsible for the things about which their client never told them the truth. You will learn that when it came to the defense of Robert Kelly, each of the acts that Daryl McDavid took were at the express direction of the esteemed professionals that agreed that these were the right and legal things to do to the best defend their client. And Daryl McDavid, who had no reason to doubt them, look, they were at times, just like him, just doing their job. And so as this case unfolds, the question for you will become whether or not you really think that a group of the most excellent and respected attorneys and investigators in this country decided that they would agree with Daryl McDavid to obstruct justice and obtain child pornography, and to risk their entire lives to risk their careers. their reputations for R&B singer who was insignificant compared to their other clients' an entire body of work. From this moment on behalf of Daryl McDavid, we ask you one important question. Why would they ever do that? And the evidence in this case will answer that question. The answer will be they wouldn't. The answer would be they didn't. And because, as you will learn, that these are the only people with whom Daryl McDavid agreed to do anything with, he can't be guilty unless they are too. And in this case, that's going to create a problem for the government. You see, when they brought these charges against Daryl McDavid, what the government did was they made a sort of, let's say, promise, okay? They made a promise to Daryl McDavid. They made a promise to this court. They made a promise to all of you that they would prove each and every element of their case beyond a reasonable doubt. It's called the burden of proof. And when it comes to the elements of knowledge and intent, they will fail to keep that promise. They will fail to meet their burden, and they will fail because Daryl McDavid is not guilty. Now, there is a fundamental fact that that is critical to all considerations about the defense of Robert Kelly between 2008 and 2002 and 2008. Lawyers and managers have to rely on their clients. In fact, they have a duty to rely on their clients and listen to what their clients tell them. What they tell them shapes their beliefs. It shapes their opinions. It shapes what they think the strategy is that they need to follow. So the central issue of all of these considerations here about Daryl McDavid and about what he knew and what he intended is, what did Robert Kelly say to Daryl McDavid back in 2002 and 2008? What did he tell the lawyers? From the first of these allegations about a tape of a minor, you will learn that Robert Kelly denied it. The women on the tape denied it. Her mother denied it. Her father denied it. They denied it to law enforcement officers. They denied it to Robert's own private investigators. They denied it to his lawyers. There are documented reports that you will see showing that time and again, the people working for Robert were told that these allegations were false. And not just by him, but by the woman who was in the video with him. Did he just give it away? Hold on. Robert, hold on, let me read that again. Yeah. Robert, where that these allegations were false, and not just by him, but by the woman who was in the video with him. Shouldn't he have said the woman that was allegedly in the video with him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee. Claims to be.
I caught that. Okay. Here we go. And ladies and gentlemen, as his business manager, working with lawyers to defend him, Daryl McDavid shouldn't be criticized for believing what they said, especially when you will see back there was a lot of evidence supporting to Daryl McDavid and the lawyers that the allegations about this tape was simply untrue. They were not legitimate. And we present that evidence to you throughout the course of this trial, document by document. You will see it, and you will get a clear picture of that someone in Daryl's position would have believed back in between 2002 and 2008. And you won't just have to take my word for it. Daryl McDavid has absolutely nothing to hide. He will take the stand and he will tell you in his own words that he did what he did. Hold on. What he did and what he did not do. And as you listen to the evidence in this case, it will be important to remember what matters for these criminal charges is what we know today. It's not what we know today. With different witnesses saying different things from what they denied back in 2002 and 2008, what matters here is Daryl McDavid's intent and Daryl McDavid's knowledge back then. You see, what we have to focus on is what he saw back then. What he saw back then and what he believed back then in 2002 and 2008. Not as you sit here today. And you will see that based on what he saw back then, anyone in Daryl's position would have believed that that tape was illegitimate. Anyone in his position who saw what he saw and was told what he was told would have believed that the girl on the tape is not the person that's going to sit here in this courtroom and tell you a different story. Different than what she told all those people back then. We will show you that everything he saw and everything he was told led him to believe that the tape was not legitimate, that Robert should be exonerated at trial. And because he believed that, there was never any intention to obstruct justice or break a law. The only intention was to present the best defense possible and see him exonerated for a crime that Daryl McDavid and Robert Kelly's lawyers believed he did not commit. In this case, there are basically two types of crimes that Daryl is accused of. First, he's accused of entering into an agreement to obstruct justice. To prove that, you will learn that the government must show that it was his intent to get people to make false statements. That it was his intent to get people to make false statements. That it was his intent to illegally manipulate evidence. However, if it's based on what he saw back then and believed back then that the defense of Robert Kelly was a good one and that his client was wrongly accused, it's not possible for him to be guilty of this. And the second type of crime he's charged with is processing and agreeing to possess child pornography. To prove that, the government must prove that Daryl McDavid knew and intended to get child pornography and that he actually got it. But if Daryl McDavid never saw the tapes or knew what was on the tapes, that our issue at this trial, he can't be guilty of those charges either. And with that in mind, let us consider what some of the evidence would show that led to the 2008 acquittal of Robert Kelly. In December 2000, you will learn for the first time that Daryl McDavid was told that there was some allegation of an inappropriate relationship between Robert Kelly and this woman we're calling Jane. Some anonymous person called the Department of Child and Family Services, and you will learn that Robert Kelly told Daryl about this incident. You will learn that Robert Kelly strongly denied that there was any truth to it. He told Daryl that the source of these rumors was a disgruntled individual. She went by the name of Sparkle. And Daryl knew that person. Yeah, he knew that Sparkle hated Robert because they had a falling out over a record deal. You will find out when confronted with these allegations that Daryl did what anyone in his position would do. He contacted Robert's lawyer, Jerry Margolis. Jerry listened to the allegations and determined that they wouldn't simply take Robert's word for it. Instead, Jerry hired the renowned investigator that I talked about, Jack Palladino. And he hired him to go interview Jane and her family to try to get down to the truth of the situation. And you will find out that when Jack Palladino interviewed Jane, she told him that none of it was true. When he interviewed Jane's mother and Jane's father, they told him none of it is true. And so Jack prepared a report detailing all of this, that the fact that all of these individuals were denying the truth of any of these allegations. And on top of that, Jane and her parents told Jack that it was Sparkle who was starting these rumors about her and Robert. Jerry Margolis showed that report to Daryl McDavid, and from that moment, the report shaped Daryl's views on the claims of Robert and Jane. These people had been interviewed by police. They had been interviewed by Robert's own investigators. They had said that mom and dad included, that it was all a lie. And Daryl McDavid had no reason to believe otherwise. And as time went on, from December of 2000 to 2001, there continued to be rumors about sex tapes involving R. Kelly being sold on the streets. Now, there was a whole variety of these sex tapes that were allegedly out there. There were tapes about Robert having sex with an adult dancer that worked for him. There were tapes of Robert having sex with multiple partners, one of them being his wife. There were tapes about Robert having sex with a wife of a professional athlete. There was a fake internet video going around at the same time, too. And faced with these rumors of sex tapes, Daryl McDavid did the same thing he did before. He called Jerry Margolis, and Jerry told him that these kind of sex tapes could ruin someone's career. The key was to get them. The key was to find out what was on them, to be ahead of whatever might get into the media. And an effort to do that was undertaken. In the summer of 2001, you will learn that a man named Chuck Freeman contacted Robert Kelly and told him that he can get one or more of these sex tapes in exchange for money. And Robert told Daryl about this. He was his business manager. And as was his usual practice, Daryl McDavid called Jerry Margolis and, to figure out what he should do. And Jerry Margolis was adamant. If there are any tapes that we can get that they can get their hands on, they should so they could see what was on them. And at that time, there was no way to know what was on the tape Chuck said he had. Certainly, Jerry and Daryl had no idea what was on it. And what did they do? They hired Jack Palladino to investigate Chuck. They hired Jack Palladino to get the tape to see if Chuck actually had the tape. And as Miss Bonjean told you before me, you're going to learn that Chuck Freeman is a criminal. He's a con man. He has committed crime after crime, showing his dishonesty and his willingness to lie and cheat just to get money. That's what he does. That's all he is. And Jack Palladino learned that from his investigation. So Jerry Margolis and Jack Palladino knew that Chuck could not be trusted and that the plan was for Jack to meet Chuck in Kansas City and get whatever tape Chuck had said he had. This happened in August of 2001. You want to jump in right there, tell you? At 14.
Yep.
Okay.
And you will be able to see that this plan was made by Jerry Margolis and Jack Palladino, because Jack Palladino's records and Jack Palladino's bills regarding this trip, they are all addressed to Jerry's law firm. They certainly They are certainly not agreeing to get any kind of child pornography. They were agreeing to get whatever tape he had and to see what was on it. You heard the government say that. You know, Daryl went to Kansas City and he met with Chuck. He saw what was on the tape and he took that tape in his possession. But the source of these claims is only one person, Chuck Freeman. And you will learn that as Chuck Freeman was telling his story to the government, he told a lot of different stories. His claims were both incoherent and inconsistent. He told lie after lie and had been caught doing so. And he is telling these stories to get immunity for his admitted crimes of blackmailing other people. And he is the only person that is going to say that Daryl McDavid went down to Kansas City to get some sort of tape. Unfortunately for Chuck, the evidence in this case is going to tell a far different story. The evidence in this case will show what really happened. Bills and reports from Jack Palladino will show him listing all of the people that he interacted with in Kansas City. Daryl McDavid is not on that list. Jack Palladino's bills will list the people he had phone calls with, and one of those people was Daryl McDavid, showing that Daryl wasn't standing next to him in Kansas City. Jack had to call him to talk to him. But there will be far more powerful evidence than that, which exposes the lie that is being perpetrated by Chuck Freeman. You will learn that because Chuck is a criminal, an off-duty law enforcement officer was hired to be present in Kansas City to keep Jack safe when he met with Chuck.
Hello? You there, Tanya?
He saw who was in the room, and he will tell you himself from that witness stand, Daryl McDavid was not in Kansas City. Daryl McDavid did not receive any videotape from Chuck Freeman. Jack Palladino got the tape. The tape was sent to Jerry Margolis. Daryl McDavid never saw it. And Jerry Margolis, after he watched this tape, called Daryl to tell him that it was such poor quality, you couldn't identify anything about the person on that video. There was no child pornography involved. Whatever story Chuck might try to tell you now is going to be disproved by reliable and undeniable evidence. You will also learn that Daryl McDavid's beliefs about the truth and legitimacy of the claims about Robert Kelly having sex with underage girls was further impacted by additional investigations done by Jack Palladino. You will learn that Palladino interviewed a woman who was being approached by one of Robert's fired employees, Demetria Smith, and he was offering her money to lie about having underage sex with Robert Kelly. And you will learn that the money to pay her to lie was coming from Robert's fired ex-manager, Barry Hankerson. And I want you all to remember that name. Not only did Jack interview this young woman, she wore a wire and was recorded telling these people that she never had underage sex with Robert Kelly. And in response, they told her it was fine. They told her she would be paid by Barry as long as she made...
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
that she made up that lie. That report was received by Jerry Margolis. It was shown to Daryl McDavid. And at that moment, they knew that people were being solicited to make false claims about Robert Kelly. And as women were coming forward, they weren't going to the police. They weren't going to investigators. They were going to lawyers who were demanding money to keep their false claims out of the media. And at that time, Daryl already knew that people were being paid to make up false claims like this, paid by people trying to destroy R. Kelly's career.
All right. Thank you very much, Tanya. Riri, can you jump in right there, please?
Sure. Anyone in his position would have doubted anyone simply because they came with their hands out asking for money. And that was what happened. That was happening all the time. On February 4th, 2002, the same Barry Hankerson made a call to Robert's assistant. She then contacted Jerry McGillis, who called Daryl. Barry Hankerson called to make a threat. He threatened that a tape was coming out and that it was Robert and his goddaughter, that the tape was going to ruin him, that it was going to put a stop to a scheduled performance at the Salt Lake City Olympics on February 8th of 2002. 4 days later, this call was nothing but threatening and vindictive in nature. And when Daryl heard that, he knew two things. He knew that Barry was already out there paying people to make false claims about having underage sex with R. Kelly, and he knew that Jane, her mother, and her father had repeatedly denied having any kind of inappropriate relationship with R. Kelly. So when the call came from Barry Hankerson, Daryl was obviously suspicious. Then, on the same day, Jerry McGillis and John Talley, one of Robert's civil attorneys, got a call from the Chicago Sun-Times. They said that they had a tape of Robert and a minor the same day that Barry Hankerson called with his threatening call. And you will learn that Robert's lawyers, they were first told to come see the tape. And when they tried to, they were told that they couldn't see it anymore. And the tape that they were trying to see, it was believed to be the most identical to a fake internet video that was circling around that time. This was all documented in a letter by one of Robert Kelly's lawyers that was shown to Darrell McDavid. And I'm sure you'll see it too. So Darrell was hearing about a tape that was connected to a guy who was paying people to lie about R. Kelly, a tape that they wouldn't let his lawyer see, and which was apparently connected to some fake internet video. No one in his position could have possibly believed that there was any legitimacy to this video. And the Sun-Times story, it ran on February 8th, 2002, the same day R. Kelly was scheduled to perform at.
Okay, hold on. I see all the cash apps rolling in for transcripts. I do see them. I will send them to you as soon as this live is over. I'm going to send them straight to your email. So thank you very much. Just make sure you're attaching your email addresses to your cash apps. I do see them. Okay. All right. I moved up. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Riri.
It's okay. The Olympics, the biggest moment of his career. And to Daryl, the timing of that seemed a little bit like a setup. And behind all of it, Robert Kelly and Jane continued to deny that there was any truth to any of it. And that's the information that Daryl McBride had. That informed his view about this video that was in the middle of 2002 prosecution that we're going to be talking about during this trial. When Daryl found out about that video, he hired Ed Jensen, the best criminal defense attorney in Chicago. After he was hired, Ed Jensen personally met with Jane privately in his office. And after the meeting, he came up to Daryl, looked at him in the eye, and said, "It's not her. The tape is fake, and I'm going to prove it." And they set out to do just that. You will learn that Darryl McDavid was shown interview reports from a witness who was aware of plans to generate fake tapes. You will learn that he was shown the presentation of the defense expert witness that did a frame-by-frame analysis of Robert Kelly's back on the video. There's a mole on his back. And in these frames, you saw the mole disappearing, then reappearing, then moving place to place to place. And at the top of all that, he was shown Jane's. Can you scoot it up? Can you move it up?
Where did he go, Riri?
I know. I was like, is it me? Did I disappear?
Where'd he go?
Okay, I missed it.
I don't know if that's, is it possible for him to leave the show?
Right.
He can't just leave the show.
He just got tired of us. He got tired of us. Been waiting on this forever, and then got tired of us.
I can't believe it's actually here now. This
I
is some
know.
craziness.
It really is. It really is. And it's all about to come out. Well, the rest of it's about to come out.
I can't wait to read Rashana's. Oh my goodness.
Right?
These opening statements, I'm just like, let's just get to the good stuff.
Right, exactly.
These lawyers are all just, telling their side of it.
Exactly.
Atmos.
That's the best part is when you get to the testimony of the actual people that were involved. I don't know what happened to Atmos. He gave up on his show.
Oh my goodness. I'm trying to go on my other device to see if I can see anything in the chat. We lost Atmos, y'all. Don't forget to hit the like.
Definitely.
And subscribe to the channel. Atmos is almost at 3,000 subscribers. We just need 100 more. And he'll be at 3,000. Come on, guys. Might as well boost him up while we're waiting for him.
Okay. Can you see the chat? Because I can't see the chat.
Kind of, yeah, my other device.
What do you guys think in the chat?
Let's see.
About what's going on and about the opening statements? Let us know what they're saying, Tanya.
Yeah, I will. Let's see. It says they take the parts to suit their narrative to share with. Oh, they're talking about the super fans. It says that he probably lost service. It says the supporters are being quiet this evening. And you know what? I was thinking the same thing.
Can y'all hear me now?
There you are.
Yeah. We got you.
We were trying to hold up the channel. We don't know.
Oh, I was just reading my butt off.
You were.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. Good grief. Let me pull this out. I don't know what the heck happened. Okay.
You know you got that little pity pat cake.
Oh,
internet service.
I know you ain't trying to talk about mine, but you got that Blues Clues internet service over there.
Hey, Atmos, did you see we're almost at 3,000? I was telling everybody that's not subscribed to hit that subscribe button. You're only 100 away from 3,000.
I know, right? Isn't that
so
awesome?
Close. That's huge.
Only 100 away. That would be awesome.
We got to get him to 3,000, guys. Come on.
Hit
that
Let's get this
Share it.
Hey. All right. Can y'all see the transcripts now?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
yes.
Great. Do y'all remember where I stopped at? What was the last time y'all heard me say?
Riri was reading.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Riri, go ahead. Where'd you stop
I don't
at,
even
Riri?
know where we were. It wasn't on this part though, right?
Do you know where we were?
No, we weren't this far yet.
We weren't this far.
I think you took over.
I did take over. Well, go ahead and start right here at 6. You will learn that during the pendency of the criminal charges. I know I read that. Hold on. Now let me see. Can they see? Let me see if they can see.
I can see. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, I have my other device open too.
Okay.
Yep, they can see it too.
They can see the transcripts? Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You will learn that during the pendency of the criminal charges, another person came out saying that they had a sex tape. Her name is Lisa Van Allen. You will learn that she is associated with Chuck Freeman. And like Chuck, she claimed to have a threesome video of Robert Kelly and Jane herself, and Jane and her. And then she brought that to Daryl, that she watched it with Daryl and that she turned it over to Daryl. But just like Chuck Freeman, this woman has lied about her situation again and again and again. She associated with Keith Murrow. Her associate Keith Murrow was discussing with Chuck Freeman about this supposed tape at the time, and he was lied over and over again. Lisa Van Allen, too, had to get immunity due to the act of blackmail that she was engaged. She, too, changed her story again and again. She, too, will be caught in a lie after lie. And she, too, will have her lies exposed by the evidence in this case, because the evidence will show that it was the law office of Ed Jensen that was in charge of the efforts to obtain whatever tapes that she said she had to determine what was on it. And this will be shown to you on a polygraph results relating to the copy of that tape. These polygraphs were ordered by Ed Jensen. The results was provided to Ed Jensen. This was Ed Jensen's investigation. Daryl McDavid never made anyone do anything. And you will learn that when Lisa Van Allen turned over the tape, there were people present, not liars and blackmail artists and professional people that saw how that tape was delivered. Daryl McDaniel never got that tape. The tapes were reviewed by Ed Jensen and his experts. And what you will learn is the tape that Lisa Van Allen gave them was a threesome. She was in it, but the third party in it was not a minor victim. The third party was Robert Kelly's wife, Andrea. And while he desperately did not want that video to be in the media, it had nothing to do with any crime. You will learn that Chuck and Lisa were paid for turning over the sex tapes. You will learn that the payments were authorized by the lawyers Robert Kelly was working with and Daryl was working with. These payments were recorded in his bookkeeping, and these payments were included in expense reports submitted to the IRS. This was a legitimate investigation done by lawyers to protect Robert Kelly from media exposure. Daryl McDavid was authorized by the lawyers to provide the money, and no one ever a single time told him that any of this was illegal. This trial will take you back in time. Ladies and gentlemen, back to the dates ranging from 1997 to 2008. And you will see that at the time that Daryl McDavid was obviously every reason to believe what Robert Kelly was telling him and his lawyers. And Darrell listened to the lawyers. He trusted the lawyers. He followed their direction. And in doing so, they did a great job for Robert. Robert was found not guilty because based on what was known to everyone back then, that was the right answer. And no one who knew had information that Daryl and back then at the time thought anything differently. Eventually, there was a falling out between Daryl McDavid and Robert Kelly. You will see Daryl sued Robert for money that he believed he was owed. He identified the specific basis for the money he was owed. It was money that he was owed for doing his job. It was money that he was owed for doing the best job he can to do to the best of his ability.
Thank you very much, Riri. Go ahead and jump back in, Tanya.
And everything you need to know about that lawsuit is spelled out right on the document, on its face. And we will go over it with you paragraph by paragraph to prove it. Ladies and gentlemen, throughout the course of this trial, you will see some awful things that will make you want to look away. But as the evidence comes in, ask yourselves, what part of this did Daryl see before the 2008 trial? And the answer will be none of it. And you will also hear some terrible things that you're not going to want to listen to. But once again, the question for you will be, which of those things were told to Daryl before the 2008 trial? Again, the answer will be the same, none of it. You will learn that while the 2002 charges were pending, the entire music industry supported R. Kelly. They did not believe the allegations, and his record sales soared during the time of his case. The public supported R. Kelly. The people did not believe the allegations. And you will find out that prior to 2008, the 2008 trial, the things that Daryl McDavid saw, the things that Daryl McDavid was told, and the discussions Daryl McDavid had with the lawyers all indicated that the charges against Robert Kelly simply were not true. And so, faced with what he saw, faced with what he was told, Daryl McDavid did his job. The lawyers for R. Kelly did their job. The jury in the 2008 case did its job. The fact that Robert and the girl in the video decided to lie to everyone about it back then makes it impossible to prove that his manager or the lawyers ever did anything but what they thought they were supposed to do. Because doing your job is not a crime. And so we expect this trial to end just as it began, as a case about agreements that Daryl McDavid made with Robert Kelly's lawyers to do the best they can to defend him. This case will end with the fundamental question that brings us to stand up here before you today on behalf of Daryl McDavid. If these lawyers, if these investigators who are known all around the country really knew the things that you will see and the things that you will hear in this case back then, do you really believe this esteemed group of professionals would risk their careers, would risk their lives, would risk their reputations and their legacy to defend someone they believe to be a pedophile? The evidence will give you the answer clearly. The answer will be the same then as it is now. The answer is they wouldn't. The answer is they didn't. The answer is, based on what they were told and what they were shown, this group of professionals simply did their jobs. Daryl McDavid did his job. That's what the evidence is going to show, and that's why Daryl McDavid must be found not guilty on all counts.
Thank you. Well, we'll recess for lunch until about 2 o'clock. Okay. All rise. The jury walks out. The luncheon recess is taken at 1:07 p.m. So this right here was the end of the opening statements from Bonjean and them. Okay, so we're going to have a chit chat for a little bit about this, and then we're going to be going into our music battle at 8 o'clock, but I'm going to need about 15, 20 minutes to prepare for that.
I just got your notification that you're going to go live in 30 minutes.
That's right. I'll be going live in 30 minutes for this music battle. Let me take this down so we can all talk for a minute. So, as y'all know, we always talk about this. And so what do y'all think about what you read? Like, was this, I see, shout out to my bro, Levi, shout out to Levi. Levi said that that Bonjean hit the ball out the park. I think it was more like a bunt or a little, catch out fly ball where you just catch
or
it right
foul,
there.
maybe a foul.
Oh, a little foul ball, man. That
right.
was Levi.
It could have been a foul out.
Right, foul out, man. So, was there anything that y'all learned today that you were surprised? I didn't know that there was a sex tape of Drea and Lisa Van Allen.
That's what I was just about to say.
I didn't know that.
I was like, what? Because
right.
Lisa always said that the threesome tape was her and Jane. I don't know if we're supposed to say her name or not, but I'll respect her and say Jane.
Travis Sloan said that shit was a strikeout.
But I'm thinking, there could have been. Why not?
I'm sure it was. And that kind of goes to what everybody was like saying about Drea being involved in everything.
Mm-hmm. How could she be his wife that close to him and not know what he was about?
Exactly.
Not to say that she wasn't a victim. I think she was a victim. But she was treated the same. Sparkle. And I don't know, now Sparkle talking about Drea had to walk on the floor and Sparkle was there having sex with her husband while she was married too. That was just all kinds of messy. So I'm questioning Sparkle a little bit. That opening, it made me question Sparkle a little bit, I have to say.
When I see that Sparkle asked her 14-year-old niece to sit on R. Kelly's lap and rub his head.
31-year-old man.
And R. Kelly didn't get his ass up and say, "What the hell are you doing? Are you crazy? Why the hell are you telling me this little girl to sit on my lap?" He just gonna sit there and be like, yeah, sit right here. Come on, right here. Like, will you be my god daddy? Yeah.
Mm-mm. But why would Sparkle do that?
Right.
Unless R. Kelly had
Unless
her
our
rap too.
or unless R. Kelly told her, listen, you want money, what you need? What you do? You know what? You want this? You got to give me your niece.
Right.
Give me her.
Well, because you know that R. Kelly and Sparkle had a fling.
Of course.
But
I'm
did
gonna
they have
read.
a fling, or was he controlling her too?
You had to be controlling her too. Let's go ahead and read some of these comments from some of these wonderful people here. Let's start with Lesbian One. Lesbian One said most celebs who are threatened with extortion call the FBI. Why RSK? What? Hey RSK, did you call the FBI?
That's true. That's a good point.
Very good
Mhm.
point. Very good point. Somebody asked, "How do you donate?" I think they probably already addressed it in the chat. What's up, TM Harry? You can donate to either mine or Diva Divine Lights Cash App. We are both collecting, putting our money together to get these transcripts for y'all. Whenever you donate, like I said, you will get a copy as long as you attach your email address in a little comment section on the Cash App or PayPal or however you do want to send. Let me see. Cherie said, L. Miller, just hold them back. Let me see. Cherie says, if you are enjoying this, read, get the Cash App. Okay, there you go. For transcripts, there you go. Indigo said, it's the selective outrage for me. I know that's right. Boss Baby, did you tap the like button? Somebody in here calling himself Boss Baby, huh? Leslie One said, of course they are. Take. Nobody thinks that her testimony sounds a lot like the ones in the old NYC. How was that? Oh, yeah. They didn't read the paperwork.
True facts.
There you go. Truth said lesbian like stealing watches and stuff, but still allowed to be in my presence. Get out, get along. Yeah, get along. Get out my house, right? You welcome, honey. You welcome. Travis Sloan said, yes, take her calling her a liar, hoe, and everything but a child of God. Man, listen. Bonjean is something else. She's something else. Sugar Brown said Barry Hankerson. He
Demolish her.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just saying the way that Bonjean's acting towards Jane is gonna wreck the jury for him. So keep on doing it, Bonjean.
Sugar Brown said, F. Barry Hankerson. He never loved Gladys Knight or Leah. He used them to try to become a Barry Gordy. Okay. Whoever this Boss Baby person is, the only reason I gave my opinion because a lot of people defend him. I did tap the like button. Okay. All right.
Subscribe to Boss Baby.
Subscribe, Boss Baby. I want to see your name on the subscription now. I want to see a little baby with a diaper walking across my screen when I look up who subscribed. SK says in the UK we call them nonce apologists. Let me see. Hold on, y'all.
I never heard that word.
I haven't either. Let's see who at my door. Hold on. Oh, somebody delivering a package. Okay, cool. Let's see. James Harris says, Barry said he was just trying to help. Yeah, I bet. Indigo said, lesbian one, I heard someone say that they won't read the transcripts. They do not believe any of the court proceedings. Yeah, Indigo, whoever said that, they are just.
I have no words.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Y'all, I actually had somebody. I think I told y'all this before. I had a blogger. Some of y'all who know him, Debo, where he was really debating. Huh? I don't know. he was debating what was being said in the transcripts and if it was true or not. So I said, bro, you know what? I said, I'm gonna send you the transcripts because you lead a lot of people. And I want you to at least get him the truth. Because he used to read the transcripts all the time, sometimes better than everybody else. And then he just stopped and just started forming his own conspiracy theories and building a board and having psychic readers come on and read into people's lives and all this crazy shit. And voodoo dolls and cutting people's heads off and putting them on the
Oh,
ends of
wow.
sticks, all kind of crazy stuff. So I said, bro, you know what? I'm gonna send you the transcripts for free, bro. Go ahead and read them to your people. He said, I ain't reading that bullshit. I don't believe none of that shit. I was like, all right. That was the last time me and him talked. I was like, ain't nothing else I got to say to you. What else do I need to say to you after that? Like, I don't get it. Let's see here. Lesbian One says they did the same in 08, but the difference now at T-Bound 1 is they let him go to continue his disgusting behavior. Indeed. Indeed.
How do we get those transcripts from 08? I would love to read those.
Man, them things probably $10,000 a page.
Seriously? Those are like
Boss Baby, on
relics.
this channel, we are not many that try to defend. No, we don't. Let me see.
It sounds like some of the 2008 are about to come into this case in this trial, though.
Yeah, I would think that they would as evidence.
Right.
Indeed.
Hey, Atmos, how fast did this transcript come?
Man, listen.
Yeah, I was expecting a couple days from now.
I told Gio I wouldn't need him till next week to babysit.
Right. They came. This was yesterday that they tested. It was here this morning.
That's
by 10 o'clock. Awesome. Yeah, Diva, man. Shout out to Diva Divine Light, man. She's on it. She is on it. Make sure y'all subscribe to Diva Divine Light, man. Yes. Subscribe to her channel. We and her are working very hard to donate to these so let me see, those who donate directly to me or Atmos, please put your email info in the section as well to receive transcripts. You paid for them. Thank you for helping out with the calls. Indeed. Let's see here. Let's see. Indigo said, Boss Baby. Yes, they do, because that's the only way they can think of excuses for a sex offender. Let's see. Sugar Brown said, Indigo, only an idiot super fan would make such an idiotic comment that they don't believe a court case that's actively in progress in the world. You can't make this shit up. That's right. So y'all
stopped believing in the trial and the court case once the evidence started coming out and it wasn't in his favor. Trust me, if it was in his favor, they would have continued to read the transcripts.
Can you imagine? Oh, they read all the defense stuff when Bonjean come out. Oh, they all, come on, guys. Come on, guys. Bonjean, put something in, guys. Come on, guys. Walking around and man, listen.
That's my favorite voice.
Listen, man. Cherie said Riri opening statements were good, but I can tell this trial is going to be heavy. Indeed.
Thank you.
I see he on several different recordings and different minors. Can't no one defend that. Take R. Kelly, give us Tupac back, said they need to go back and revisit the authentication and stipulation. Yeah, thank you, Blade, for calling me. I was just reading my butt off, man. Thank you, Lady D. Lady D said he having technical issues. Yeah, I was. I ain't even know, y'all. I was just reading. I think Robert Kelly is going to get life. Daryl is going to get some time also. Playing dumb isn't going to help him. Good points.
I'm sorry to butt in, but I have to take off because I got to put the
go ahead. Go ahead. Thank you, Tanya. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Bye. McDavid and Brown's lawyers may be able to present reasonable doubt for them, but they're further screwing RSK. Indeed. There's no way that they can get out of this without screwing R. Kelly. There's no way.
But they prosecute and convict people every day who claim they didn't know the law, and even people who honestly didn't know the law. Just because you didn't know the law doesn't mean you can't be convicted of a crime.
Indeed. That's facts. Tate said the tape was entered into evidence today and stipulated to by Billie Jean. So they need to stop with the it wasn't him and RL is lying rhetoric. Right. Man. Okay. So y'all listen, man. What's up, Gospel Glam Cosmetics? How are you? So y'all look, we about to roll out of here. Make sure that you all like, share, and subscribe to the page to know when the next time we're going to go live. It will be tomorrow. I may feel froggy and come back on after the music battle tonight and continue reading. I don't know. we'll see. I got to see how my schedule look for tomorrow. If we do, then I'll come back on tonight. If not, I'll be back tomorrow morning. I will schedule it so that y'all can get back on here and not miss a beat. I will put these lives in a playlist so that anyone who missed it, one that we did earlier, you'll be able to go back there and watch it. Riri, do you have any closing statements before we close out?
The only thing I have to say, like we used to say in Cali, if you feeling froggy, then jump.
Indeed.
So come on back after we hear this good music.
Indeed. That makes sense. Sister, I appreciate you. I am so happy you came back on here to pay us a visit. We miss you. And thank you so much for coming back. Hopefully this ain't the last time I see you.
No, it's not. It was health issues that kept me out for a long time, but I'm back. I'm really blessed.
Well, I thank God that he blessed you. You take care, sister.
All right. You guys have a great night.
All right. You too. All right, y'all. So I'm about to get out of here. I'm going to go ahead and send the transcripts really quick to everybody that sent their money. I'm going to send those right now. And then I got to get ready for this music battle. If y'all want, come back over here. 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have a music battle. If you've never experienced it, it is an unbelievable experience. We're going to have somebody from the Dream Team going against somebody from OCOV. It's going to be Malik from the Dream Team going against Ty, OCOV, in the music battle tonight. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. Please hit that like button on the way out, and I will holler at y'all later. Peace out.
Oh, no. I don't need negative energy. Wrap me in positive synergy. I have been doubted through life. Been there and done that with trifling people who told me my style would not work. I told them they wrong. They're struggling too long. This song is for you. I'm proving you wrong. Get out my way. Get out my way. Get out my way. Get out my way.
I'm a genuine person. Like if I love you, I love you. If I don't mess with you, I don't mess with you. It's as simple as that.